Mortal Kombat without a doubt is one of the biggest game franchises of all time, with some estimates that the brand is currently worth over $12 billion. Even though it has great successes, is it possible that Mortal Kombat has a hex or a curse on it? You probably already know it's one of the greatest fighting games, and the only thing that can make it better is a version of Mortal Kombat vs. Street Fighter. But I'm not talking about new games or finishing moves, I'm talking about the dark cloud that seems to follow this game franchises every step of the way. October 8th, 1992, Boyz II Men, End of the Road was #1 on the pop charts. The movie theaters were playing The Mighty Ducks, and Roseanne was the most popular TV show. But this was the day that Midway Games, a carnival amusement game manufacturer, turned into a video game producing company and released Mortal Kombat. And 1 year, 2 months later, the first hearing was held in front of the Governmental Affairs and Judiciary Senate committees about the game's violence. However, at the time, the Senate was in recess, so there were only 2 senators present. And hours before this, leaders in the video game industry announced a universal agreement to develop a game rating system. But it was a little too late as the curse had begun. Midway with Nintendo had Mortal Kombat, but Sega had Night Trap, an equally violent game with its own controversy. Nintendo and Sega went back and forth during the first hearing. Psychologists and experts weighed in on the violence of the video games, and at the end of the day, Nintendo and Sega agreed to work on a rating system, and Senator Lieberman introduced the Video Game Rating Act of 1994, but he had no plans to follow through on the bill. And as a result of the hearings, game sales went through the roof, only come to a crashing halt right before Christmas as retailers pulled their games from their shelves due to the controversies. A second hearing was done, and by September 1994, we now have the ERSB game rating system. This is not the ending of the troubles for the Mortal Kombat series. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, the games has been linked to the Columbine Massacre and was to blame for the murders in 2007 of Diego Aguilar and in 2008, 7-year-old Zoe Garcia. It also brought a few lawsuits from actors who claimed that their likenesses was used without their permission or compensation in the Mortal Kombat products. It appears that the curse could be over as Midway Games is in trouble in 2008. It had lost $191 million and was headed to bankruptcy, with the looks of no one to bail them out. However, in May of 2009, Warner Bros. Interactive put in a bid with the courts to acquire Midway Games, including the franchise of Mortal Kombat, for $33 million, and the courts approved the bid. Warner Bros. Rebranded the Mortal Kombat Studios to the current NetherRealm Studios. Even with new owners, the curse continues as its own developers suffered from PTSD after spending large amounts of time working with violent visuals to develop Mortal Kombat 11 in 2019. And the violence is so extreme with this game, it has been banned in China and Japan. The new Mortal Kombat 1 was released in September. Will the curse continue? What are your thoughts? I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. Please click like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the leaderboards.